Joining us this morning is Doug Eamon, Southern Arizona National Fallen Firefighters. Gosh, and I told him I was going to screw up his last name, and that's exactly what I did. Foundation and Randolph Mantooth, star of the 70s hit TV series Emergency.
And we're talking about their 7 Fallen Firefighters Foundation benefit dinner, which is actually being held tonight. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for asking us.
Now, this is a benefit that is a very worthy cause. It's sold out, but it's still something that everyone, wants to learn about. Tell us about the benefit, Doug.
Well, actually, this is our 7th year. It's been an extremely successful event for us. The Tucson event happens to be one of the largest draw events, or at least we give the most amount nationally to the National Fallen Firefighters. It was all people here in Tucson that started it, former or existing colleagues of mine throughout the entire area. And it starts off with a safety seminar that is ongoing today, all day long. And then this evening is a dinner and an auction, which you will be speaking at. and then tomorrow is a golf tournament. So very, very successful. And as you said, it is sold out. So.
But congratulations to you for it actually being sold out. I mean,
yeah,
that in and of itself is something very
And it has sold out every year.
That's awesome.
Since the beginning. So it is a very worthwhile event. As far as the proceeds in that, do we want to get into that? Or?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Tell us
Okay,
about
so the proceeds go to 2 organizations. One is a local organization, and that is the University of Arizona Burn Program. As many of us know, the Burn Center was closed here in Tucson several years ago. So we are trying to raise some funds, raise some awareness for that event. And then the secondary event, or the primary event actually, is the National Fallen Firefighters, where, as you said in the lead-in, firefighters typically aren't dying in fire-related line-of-duty deaths. They are attributing our line-of-duty deaths to cancers of many different types. Certain types of cancers, testicular, brain cancers, have a much higher incidence in firefighters than they do in the general population. And there's a lot of reason, there's a lot of cause for that.
And heart attacks.
As well as heart attacks,
Oh,
correct.
yeah, that's a good
So
point.
there's many different things. The funds that we raise go to support the survivors, the children, the spouses of the firefighters, and sometimes the organizations as well. Those that are surviving within the organization, the funds go to that cause as well. So.
Well, I think it's amazing that you have such an advocate that you are having host the event tonight, Randolph Mantooth, and your show. I think it's amazing that you have been able to carry what you did as an actor into being an advocate for fallen firefighters.
Yeah,
Was that just a natural thing for you, or how did that come about?
Well, I guess, I don't know. I guess it was natural. It just went from finishing the show. I remember when the show ended, Chief Houts, who was our chief at the time for LA County Fire, when the show was over, 7 years, he asked me if I wanted to be a firefighter. And I was like, what? And he said, you had to do the training in the beginning. You'll have to go back and take the tests and everything. And he said, but if you want to be a firefighter, I'll make it easy for you. And I had to go home. I had to think about, wow, that was the biggest honor I think anybody had ever bestowed on me. And I thought to myself, the money you make as an actor, the money you make as a firefighter, maybe I can do more good for firefighters if I remain an actor. But because of all the relationships and the friendships that I had forged over the years with firefighters, it was just a natural thing for me to remain in it. Even though, as a professional actor, I moved on, I never really could successfully extricate myself from the fire department. So it was a natural thing for me to just hang in there with them.
And obviously this is very near and dear to your heart, but you are really one of very few civilians that have truly been considered one of their own without going through the training and that kind of thing. What does that honor mean to you?
Well, I did go through the training.
Well, right, but
but I didn't
really,
become a firefighter.
Right.
Well, it's hard to quantify what that means to me to have a real firefighter who's on the line every day to say that I'm one of their own. I mean, it's an incredible honor that I just find it hard. I start to stutter when I try to tell you exactly how that makes me feel. But it's a great honor and a real privilege to have that designation.
And a great compliment, because the show, I don't know if you remember watching it, Doug.
We were talking. This was my babysitter when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because I was there.
Did that influence you into possibly becoming a firefighter?
You know, I don't think that it actually did. It's hard for me
Let's
to
just say that
put
it
that into words. But certainly when I was a paramedic early in my career, and when I made that decision, I'm sure that there was a natural progression there.
Right, because it was one of the first shows on TV that sort of gave you an insight into what the life of a firefighter paramedic was.
Absolutely.
And so, what a compliment that the LA Fire Chief
It
thought.
was one of the first procedural shows on TV.
Yeah.
Procedurally accurate, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's like reality TV almost today, back then.
Well, a lot of kids thought it was a documentary.
Okay.
I mean, it was our executive producer tried so hard to make sure that we did everything correctly. We always had a TA on the show, technical advisor on the show, and of course we had a technical consultant on the show at all times. And the law was on the set was, and you don't find this in today's shows, in today's fire shows. We had a TA on the show, and the executive producer gave this TA the power, who was a real paramedic, a real firefighter paramedic, that if he watched a scene be done, and if it wasn't how LA County would do it, he was just instructed to go to the director and say, that was done wrong, that's not how we would do it, and then back away. Not get into an argument with the director, and if the director didn't change it, go back and change it, that director would not be on the show the next week.
Wow. Yeah.
So
that's good.
There's not a lot of shows that do that.
Right.
And so the accuracy was everything for this show. And all the rescues, we didn't make anything up. All the rescues were real rescues. Now, granted, we changed things around, we changed names, we would switch the situations. But basically, by and large, it was as real as we could get away with.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back with you. But Doug, thank you so much,
Absolutely.
and congratulations on the success of your event.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So once again, the event is sold out for this year, but you can still make a donation for fallen firefighters and their families by going online to firehero.org.
And stick around. We'll talk with Randolph Mantooth about life after his hit show Emergency right after the break.